Welcome to class 15 of Indian financial system. So we were dealing with IPO. So there is a method of public issue of shares, or we can say the mechanism. The main two mechanism which is important for your syllabus is one fixed price method and the book building method. And this fixed price method we are going to study in detail in this class. So fixed price offer method or fixed price method, what is this? So fixed price method is nothing but a company is going to fix the issue price of shares so as it wishes, and then it is going to advertise as to number of shares to be issued. Okay, so in case the price is so fixed by the company of the share is very high, the investor will naturally apply for less number of shares, so causing under subscription, or we can say as a result there will be under subscription to the shares. On the other hand, if the price is fixed, or if the price fixed is underpriced or less price, the investors will apply for more number of shares. So as a result it will lead to oversubscription of shares. So this we call it as fixed price offer method. So nothing but before the issue they are going to fix the price for the number of shares which is going to issue. Okay. The next steps involved in this. Okay. So there are some steps involved in issue of shares under fixed price offer method. The first is selection of merchant banker. So it is very compulsory, obligatory that all the public issues are managed by the merchant banker or the bankers, so who will also function as a lead managers. So it is an institution which renders financial services including giving advice to the issue of company or arranging its issue of shares. So the issuing company has to select, or it is mandatory for them to select the merchant banker so to manage its issues or manage its issue of shares. Okay, so as mentioned above, so the merchant banker may also be the lead manager of the issue. So why he is a lead manager of issue? So he is going to render various financial services. He is going to lead there. So he is going to give the various advices to the company. Advices to the issue company and arrange it for its issue of shares. The next is issue of prospectus. So we know prospectus is a invitation to the public to subscribe for the shares, right? And which is a very important document which we are going to file at the time of getting our company registered. Okay, so we have studied already in secretarial practice also. So prospectus is a document which is going to describe or which is issued as a prospectus. So any documents which are issued as a prospectus and includes any notice, your circular, advertisement or any other document, so that invites the public, okay, or inviting the offers from the public for the subscription or purchasing of any shares or debentures of a body corporate, so that we call it as prospectus, or we can say it is a document by the public company inviting the public for subscribing its shares or debentures. Okay, so the prospectus, so this prospectus as a document, it should disclose what type of shares you are going to issue, what is the amount of such shares, etc. So it should also indicate the amount that is payable on shares, so allotment of shares, so calls, or we can say installment, so how much, so as agreed. Okay, so along with that all the necessary information should be there in your prospectus. So it should be duly signed and filed with the registrar of the company. Okay. The next is application for shares. So what is this application for shares? So after the publication of the prospectus, so which contains the prescribed printed application form and has to be duly filed, and it should be duly signed by the person who intends to purchase the shares. So intend to purchase the share means your potential investors, we can say, okay, shares of the company. So that should be forwarded to the bankers to the issue of the shares along with the check or demand draft. So this application form also states the amount payable on application. So your allotment also plus the calls. So application for shares is an offer by the investors to subscribe for the number of shares in the company. Okay, so it should state the amount that is payable on application, which means the price of the share is already fixed, right? So because of that, at the time of application itself, so the full money is accepted, or they are going to accept full application money. The next is minimum subscription. So minimum subscription is nothing but at the time of getting your company registered, so you are going to fulfill some requirements. So after that you are going to get a incorporation certificate, which means a birth certificate of the company. So after that, if it is a public company limited by shares, so then you should get the certificate for commencement of business to start your business. So if it is private company, it's okay. So you can directly start your business after getting incorporation certificate. But if it is a public company, it is must for the public company to get the certificate for commencement. Okay. So in case of the company which is newly formed, it should achieve the minimum subscription from the applicants. Okay, so achieving the minimum subscription is one of the requirement to be complied at the time of obtaining your certificate of commencement of business by the public company. So thus the public company should obtain certificate for commencement. The company should achieve minimum subscription so as to obtain the said certificate. So just to get the certificate of commencement of business or a permission to start your business, minimum subscription is needed. Okay, the next is over subscription and under subscription. So when it is called as over subscription, when the money, or we can say the application money, is received for more number of shares, it is called as over subscription, right? So as I have said you in the meaning itself, in case the price of the or price that is fixed by the company, so that is very high, so what happens, the investor will naturally apply for the less number of shares, so that will lead to under subscription. Okay, suppose the price is very less, or we can say the price fixed by the company is underpriced, so the investors will apply for more number of shares. Okay, so that will lead to your over subscription. So if the money received on application is more, then we call it as over subscription. If the application money received is less for less number of shares, then we call it as under subscription, right? So generally when the shares are offered to the public subscription, the money received on application for the shares will not be exactly the same, okay, for the same number of shares, so for which the offer is made by the company. If the application money, as I said you, if it is more, we call it as over subscription. If the application money is less received, then we call it as under subscription. So however, so in case of over subscription, the applications for which no shares are allotted are to be rejected and the money already received there to be, or so by that should be refunded to such applicants, right? So in case the less number of shares are allotted, so to any number to the any other applicants, their excess application money may be either refunded to them, or it may be returned or adjusted against the allotment money or call money payable on their shares to them. Okay, the next is your allotment of shares to applicants. So it is nothing but you are going to allocate. So this is nothing but allocation of shares to the successful applicants who have applied for that. So who is going to allocate it? The directors. So, and the authority is given to them by the, or given to them in the board meeting, right? So it is said that you are going to allocate the shares to the successful applicants by the directors as approved in the board meeting. After the closing date of the receipt of the application, all these application will be placed before the meeting of board of directors. So the board of directors are going to scrutinize or examine the applications, and they are going to proceed to allot the shares to the successful applicants. And they send their letter. Which letter? The allotment letter. Send the letter of allotment requesting them to end the allotment money. Okay. So from this date, all these applicants to whom the shares are allotted will become the members of the company. The letters of regrets will be sent to those to whom the shares are not allotted. Okay. So a regret means here you are going to say sorry to them because you cannot issue the shares to them, or you cannot allot the shares to them. Okay. The next is your calls on shares by the directors. Okay. So what is this calls on shares? So the remaining amount on the shares will be called by the director in one or more installments subject to the certain conditions. So the installments which are there, so that installments are called as calls on shares. Okay. So on receipt of notice demanding the call amount, the shareholders will have to pay the shares call money. So there may be calls like first call, second call and final call. So each call is treated in the same manner. Okay, so the next is your issue of share certificate. Issue of share certificate means after receiving the final call money from the members of the company, the share certificate will be forwarded to the respective members. Okay, so they are going to be forwarded to the respective members, and that certificate, the share certificate, what is there? So that is the certificate are the specified form. So there will be a common seal of a company, so which is duly stamped and signed by the respective shareholder, etc. So share certificate, so that is a document to show you that the ownership, or you are the owner of the share in the company. Okay, so these are the steps which are involved in your fixed price offer method. So in the next class we'll deal with book building method. Thank you.